Licensure examination for teachers. Online reviewer. Professional education. Child and adolescent development. There are 15 questions, and you have 10 seconds to think of your answer. Best of luck. Teacher Russell wants to apply metacognitive reflection to improve her teaching. Which of the following is the most appropriate question must she ask herself? A. What have I learned from my teaching? B. Were my students paying attention during the lesson? C. How was the classroom atmosphere during my lecture? D. What teaching materials were effective in today's lesson? Correct answer. Letter A. When students are allowed to be responsible on their own learning and to be aware of their thinking processes, what skill is developed? A. Construction. B. Metacognition. C. Psychic awareness. D. Reflection. Correct answer. Letter B. Ruben is motivated to improve his metacognitive skills. Which of the following ways does not advance metacognition? A. Accepting new knowledge. B. Assessing one's own thinking. C. Learning how to study. D. Learning to organize thoughts. Correct answer. Letter A. In Araling Panlipunan, teacher Kenneth asked his students the relationship between the opening of Suez Canal, the galleon trade, and the widening concept of liberalization of the Filipinos during Spanish era. What aspect of metacognition is involved in the given learning situation? A. Knowledge in different areas. B. Learning thinking strategy. C. Problem solving. D. Subjective thinking. Correct answer. Letter B. Which instance in the delivery or implementation of lesson plan do teachers lead the students towards the process of metacognition? A. Teacher Albert outlines the parts of a lesson. B. Teacher Eva explains the learning objectives. C. Mrs. Reyes introduces the topic of discussion. D. Mr. Lopez asks students to predict outcomes. Correct answer. Letter D. Teacher Van, a SPED teacher, wants her special students to group and work together based on their personality and work style. Which type of seating arrangement is most effective based on her purpose? A. Full circle. B. Cooperative cluster. C. Classic rows. D. Horseshoe or U-shape. Correct answer. Letter B. In creating a conducive to learning classroom for children with disabilities, teachers must carefully select, use and design facilities and equipment appropriate for special learners. When it comes to the lighting of the SPED classroom, what rule must be followed? A. Dark classroom. B. Standard yet adequate. C. Very well lighted classroom. D. Light coming from the right side of students. Correct answer. Letter B. When a special child is moved out of special education classrooms, putting him or her in a regular classroom where there are typical learners, the special child is experiencing A. Field study, B. General education class, C. Mainstreaming, D. Pull-out program. Correct answer. Letter C. Which of the following are examples of disabilities? A. When letters appear jumbled, for example, read, looks like rod. B. Losing all or part of your hearing. C. Having difficulty to make friends. D. Both A and B. Correct answer. Letter D. It generally refers to individuals who, although not yet identified as having a disability, have a high probability of manifesting a disability because of harmful biological, environmental, or genetic conditions. A. At risk. B. Developmental delay. C. Handicap. D. Impairment. Correct answer. Letter A. The following are components of the definition of special education, except A. Individually planned instruction. B. Systematically implemented instruction. C. Well-discriminated disabilities. D. Personal self-sufficiency. Correct answer. Letter C. Of the following human needs, which is considered as the most basic needs for human growth and maturation based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs? A. Health and safety. B. Peace and comfort. C. Recognition and prestige. D. Self-fulfillment of potential. Correct answer. Letter A. Depending on the person's dominant intelligence, an individual would have a different concept of what is beautiful. Basing on Howard Gardner's MI theory. Which example is considered beautiful by the spatially intelligent learners? A. Computer encoding. B. Case study writing. C. Landscape designing. D. News reporting. Correct answer. Letter C. What is the very psychological principle or purpose of employing multicultural instruction? A. Achieve high standards. B. Develop cognitive skills. C. Recognize individual differences. D. Promote motivation in learning. Correct answer. Letter C. In Piaget's cognitive development, when a mother explains to the child that cats, unlike dogs, do not bark, the child is in the process of creating a new cognitive structure. What term did Piaget use to describe the child's cognitive experience? A. Accommodation. B. Assimilation. C. Equilibrium. D. Schema. Correct answer. Letter A.